Gabe, what's your take on scarcity? Is it really as powerful as the marketers in 2025 say?
Well, yes and no. Because if you're faking scarcity, you should just, paint scammer all over your business and your ad and your
Right? Yeah.
web. But if it's real scarcity, then it's a really wise, effective tool. And there's a lot of different aspects of being real and transparent and authentic about scarcity. So,
Yeah.
simple example, in the future here, I'm going to be running few different trainings and workshops and master classes, and I will cut it off at a certain point because there's a couple of them where I want to work with a smaller group of like startup companies, and I'm going to limit it at like 15 or 20 because I want to be able to spend time in the group calls and have individual time to really serve 20 people well. I will not just open it up to 100, and say on the promotion emails or the sales page like, limited time, limited seats. I'll just say like, if I am going to focus my number, which I likely will do this, I will say there are 20 seats available for this, and I will have a live countdown so that it goes down in real time, and then I will cut it off and be done
Yeah.
because I want to serve at a high level and I want to really deliver value for those people. So even if you're a service company, or even if you have digital products, if you're going to use scarcity ethically and with wisdom and true trust and have real authority with people, choose what you're going to give out and stop. Like, and in reality, like if you're selling physical product, we have a client right now that just launched a brand new generation of all their products, and so they're selling their legacy products, and they have a finite number of their old products. They're still great, they work amazing, there's nothing wrong with them, but
Yeah.
just like the new generation of the iPhone or the new generation of the Xbox or something, they have like 50 left of this one product they sell, and that's real scarcity. And you can tell people like, you're going to get a great deal on this. This is like an older model. It functions amazing, but there are 50 left. So if you want it, buy it now.
Yeah.
So using scarcity when it's ethical and true and honest is absolutely a great idea. If you ever try to game or fake your scarcity, you are just blowing things up because people can tell even before they find out that it's not real. That energy of how we communicate, that intention in what we put into our business and our marketing is so blatantly clear and aware that if you're faking it, I just don't recommend that. And there's plenty of people who will teach you make up a cart closing or make up the scarcity thing. I just encourage people to please stay away from that. It is such a great way to damage trust at day one with a new potential customer.
Yeah, and you really don't want to do that. And we're going to dive into that today. Of course, I'm Nathan Gibson, back with Gabe Arnold. You guys know us by now. But that's what we're going to talk about, is how to properly use this sort of thing in your marketing to be able to serve your target audience. Because we've all felt it. You felt it. I felt it. When something's so good, you have to act before you miss out. And then that scarcity of like, oh my gosh, if I don't act on this, it's going to sell out and I'm not going to have the chance to get it. Or in some cases, it'll be on the secondary market skyrocket if it's something collectible. I've
Yep.
experienced that as a avid card game guy. But when so this is as a lot of people know, FOMO, fear of missing out, and so that's really what we're going to talk about today, and why it's such a powerful motivator. Because when used strategically, FOMO can create immediate excitement around your product, and lead to more conversations, more sales, more conversions, and things like that. And so, before we dive into a couple of things that I have, what are your thoughts around utilizing FOMO effectively from a marketing standpoint?
Yeah, it's a common term, and it can be used wise and ethically. I don't love the just standard terminology, but I'm glad we're bringing it up in the way that
Yeah,
every like fear of missing out. I don't really like operating from any type of fear, um, or putting people in the fear state, but we can
right.
frame that and look at it and say like, the reality is that if you don't act now, you will miss out on this opportunity. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to cause fear in somebody, but I do want to create healthy urgency
Right.
and say like, this is the reality. Like, if you want to be a part of this masterclass I'm launching, and like I have one coming in a few months, whenever it is, there will be a cutoff date. You will have to join, free or paid or whatever I'm doing for it. And if you don't get in by, X time on X day, I'm going to close it out there because that creates integrity. Because there is a cutoff point, there are guidelines, there's parameters for how we do things. And so when you do it that way, I like to reframe the common term, which is accurate, and we want to talk about the way people probably hear about it, of FOMO, of priorities and reality. So like if I can say, Nathan, hey, there's this amazing card convention. It's with a former team member, BME. He's an amazing guy. He actually worked in sales. He's in South Carolina or North Carolina, I forget. And he's running this huge convention, but he needs to know by like 9 a.m. tomorrow, because he said he has 2 tickets, but he's going to give them away if we don't want them. You're probably going to be like, all right, like, let's see if we can go. Like, but
Gotta go.
it's a real deadline. It's reality.
Yeah.
Like he has made the choice to, like, I'm going to give these away to somebody. If you want them, Gabe, for you and Nathan, then you need to let me know by 9 a.m. And so it's bringing priority and reality, and it's helping people choose themselves. That's like the ethical way of using FOMO, which is, like I said, that's the real term. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with it. But I want to bring reality and priority into somebody's life and say, if this is important to you, then this is the next opportunity that you can take to help yourself, to invest in your business, to solve the problem you want to make. And then that way, they don't think it's just floating out there forever, because we're not serving people well when we don't have deadlines and priority and, things they need to choose. Because if they're like, oh, you know what, eventually I want to go to that convention. I know they just have them all the time. Then you actually have this like floating thought or this idea, or it's somewhere on a to-do list, and it's taking up space. I'm not serving you if I say, well, eventually, if you ever feel like it, Nathan, my friend's going to hold the ticket forever. Like, that's not
Nobody
reality.
does that. Yeah. That's not
If,
real.
but if I say, like, here's an opportunity, I want to empower you to choose, say yes or no. Because, like, obviously in our dream world, like, if you said yes, we'll rent a private jet from Indiana and we'll fly to North Carolina, and
Yes,
it'll be
sir.
fun, right? But like, I want you to say yes or no, because then you don't need to think about it. Like, it's simple. And so that's how, like, using that fear of missing out, helping people prioritize, helping them choose themselves by either saying, yes, I want this now because there is a deadline, there's a priority, this is important, there's integrity to the system, or I'm choosing myself and saying no. Like, you're actually going to the Bahamas tomorrow morning, and so you're not going to fly this. Like, that's a more important thing. You get to
Yeah.
say no to this and say yes to that. So it's a really powerful tool, and it's important that you set up your scarcity, your FOMO models, like all those things that are real psychological, real good marketing tools. Set them up in such a way that you're empowering people to choose themselves or to say no and move out of your campaign. Or wait, that's even better. Like, we don't bother people that don't want to hear from us. We're reaching out to people that have said, hey, I want to learn about marketing. And so there's a lot to that, and that's kind of how I view it.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not about warping reality. We don't need to create scarcity for everything that we do, right? But there's something like from a marketing perspective in like rolling out products and things like that that I wanted to pick your brain about, and that's like actually creating scarcity. So what's
Yeah.
been some of your experience in, like, you talked about this mastermind and how you're making a limited program. How do you go about marketing something that's going to be intentionally scarce, like an intentional limited run or a limited amount of seats? How do you go about that?
Yeah, so the first thing is, like, what's the intention behind that? Like, I shared, like, I want to be able to focus with a small group of people. I wouldn't be able to take 100 people through like this startup masterclass. Like, it'd
Right.
just be for how I want to do it. So first, it's about how can I increase value for the people that are going to choose themselves and choose to work with me. Um, and so I first define that there. Or as an example, like, I've had clients release limited run products because it's exclusive, it's unique, it's something special that people want, and only the true super fans should get it.
Right.
Like, I'm on Eminem's email list, and it was last year sometime, but there was some like $400 limited edition run, pressed vinyl like record.
Mm,
I'm not getting it because I don't have a record player at the moment, which I'll get at some point. But like, it was sold out like that because it's like
yep.
for super fans, and you get to reward the people that are going to take action and they're all in. And so first is the intention. Once you have the intention, then you can choose how do you want to get the excitement there. Like, if we're going to go back to Nathan's world and say, like, there's only going to be 100 of these, super special playing card decks available.
Yeah.
First, I'm going to say to you and everybody in the audience that, in your market that wants to buy these type of cards, hey, there's going to be a really special limited run coming out next week. And hey, it might be about this game or it might be about this game, but you're going
I
to
have
want
an
to,
example to share on that.
you want to tune in. And then when I finally reveal and say it's actually this game, just so you know, there's only 100 available. They're $500 a piece, and they go on sale at like 10 a.m. on Saturday morning or whatever. I'll study where my market is online and choose that.
Yeah.
And then when they're gone, they're gone. So like, I'll start to drip out that information, build excitement, and then give people reminders. And then when they're gone, I'll say they're gone. Thanks everyone that bought or signed up for the masterclass or did whatever. So glad to have you in. And just be honest, like, we'll never offer that again. Then you got to honor that, or say, we don't know when we're going to offer that again. That's still
Right.
honest because like I don't know when I'm going to offer the startup masterclass again. So I can say like I don't know when I'm offering this again because
It's the
that's the reality
truth.
of my schedule.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just some of the steps of like get them excited, tease with some curiosity, talk about the exclusivity, talk about the intention of why it's exclusive, and then you can move from there. And that's kind of the marketing psychology that we look at.
Yeah, and I wanna share my example. You shared your M&M example because there's a lot of real world examples of creating scarcity and healthy FOMO, and there is one in my world, in the card game world. So we do a lot of free shout outs here, folks, because we're marketing nerds. But Wizards of the Coast is the company that owns Magic the Gathering, and it's a card game I play all the time. They have a limited run that they do multiple times a year for certain sets called Secret Lair. Even the name creates like mystery and intrigue. And what they are is usually collaborations with either artists or other pop culture. There has been a Marvel one, Final
Wow.
Fantasy, there's been Ghostbusters, Walking Dead, just to name a few. And what they do is they market it by showing a couple of teasers, maybe a week or two or a month before, and they only run the promotion on their website for like 24 hours or until it's out of stock. And
Right.
Gabe, people go nuts. I bought two or three of them myself. I bought Dungeons and Dragons one. One of my buddies bought the Marvel one. And the reason why it's so important in my world is because once people buy these and they run out, not only do they not sell anymore, but they go crazy expensive on the aftermarket. So it's like an investment too, because these cards are just going to increase in value. So isn't that so cool of like how you can really use scarcity and clever like mystery marketing to build excitement for this type of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've followed some authors over the years. Not a lot of them, but a couple of them would say like my new book, on this topic or whatever is coming out now. I'm selling 100 leather bound versions that are will be
Ooh.
engraved with your name on it and signed by me. And like when I'm like super into an author, like I've considered buying those.
Oh
It'd be
yeah.
like that'd be really cool. This is like their words is a special unique copy they won't make anymore. And yeah, it's like it's a way to really reward your truest, most loyal customers and fans. It's a way to build buzz and excitement. And what you just said is a great marketing strategy that they use because you said it's for 24 hours.
Right.
So I can guarantee you the few days before people are checking out, is it up yet or what else is on the website? And like,
Yes.
and they're going and watching and then they're seeing how much is it selling. And then they're creating healthy search signals around not even going to the website. They're like, how much is this card deck going to be
Yep.
worth? Like the brand value just really increases when you show
It's
up and create
huge.
engagement and excitement. Like you really get to have fun with your customer base and you should. That should be what it's about.
Yeah, and there's even other marketing things that play into that, and that's gathering information because a lot of times you put in your email to get notified when those secret layers go live, and so you're already hitting everything from a marketing perspective. You're creating
Yep.
scarcity, you're building brand, you're gathering information to do remarketing. And then with this type of thing that you can do other versions of later on, it compounds over time. So like I purchased one of these secret layers and now I'm like in a healthy way kind of addicted. I want to check out the next one. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing with you in business. If somebody comes to your limited run mastermind and they love you, they get so much value out of it. Not only could they become a client of ours or do a type of partnership, they'll come to the next one. They'll keep their eyes open for your brand because they don't want to miss out because it's scarce.
Yeah.
And so I think that's awesome. Um, and one of the last things I wanted to touch on is one that's really important, and that after all the excitement and nerding out that you and I do, really grounding on this, and that's using FOMO in the right way. Because if you use it the wrong way, like we talked about earlier, it can damage your brand. What are some healthy ways to approach that, and what are some of the pitfalls of not doing it the right way from your experience as a business owner?
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up. The first thing to really pay attention to is if you absolutely should include urgency and the principles of FOMO, which is like helping people prioritize and choose themselves, and it should be real, ethical scarcity, not made up. And when you're driving and pushing and serving somebody to move and make a decision, that's why we use sales psychology, marketing psychology. If we use the FOMO principles, we use scarcity, then the deepest, truest intention should be I know that some of the prospects and our customers or like people in my audience are stuck with a big problem that is causing them problems in their life and business. I want to serve them by motivating them and just giving them that extra little nudge or push or helping them step over the line
Yeah.
so that they can be successful. So if I think about, as an example, one of my friends is one of the premier entrepreneurial fitness coaches in the world. He's done it for probably as long as I've been doing marketing, like 15, 20 years. He's helped the biggest names in the entrepreneurial space get healthy. And so when he runs marketing and when he runs promotions and when there are times he has scarcity, he's like, I'm only letting 5 people into this or whatever the number is. I know it's because my friend Amir, his goal is to help entrepreneurs live a rewarding, successful life, to be present for their family, to not have health issues so they can run their business. Like, he really wants them to win and succeed and be better people. So when he posts stuff and he has his own style and approach, which I love, he just wants to help you not be unhealthy, because not taking care of your health if you're an entrepreneur is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So he will push and use the healthy psychological triggers and create scarcity and use FOMO, because he knows what he's delivering is literally on every level life-changing, personally, in the business, personal relationships, health. Like, you cannot be successful as an entrepreneur if you sacrifice your health. And if you sacrifice your health in the business, then your family suffers. And like, it's a downward, like, really negative cycle. So
Yeah.
he's helping people take the leap and bet on themselves. And that's how we want to approach scarcity and FOMO. Psychological principles is our deepest motivation should be to help them be brave, take the step, have the deadline so that their life will get better, because that's how we're going to show up and serve them with the products and services that we offer.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And what a great example, because that's so important for business owners. And make sure all of you business owners watching are taking care of yourself. Take a drink of water now. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's awesome. And so, guys, FOMO and scarcity can be really, really powerful tools if used properly and with the right intention. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. And guys, if you need help implementing, healthy FOMO and healthy scarcity, we have helped hundreds of clients, if not thousands of clients, over the years with creating those sorts of campaigns, whether it's limited run, limited access events, things like that. We can help out. We have navigated that path before, and we would be happy to help you out, especially if you have something in mind. So let me know. And then we can't wrap up an episode without talking about a win, Gabe. It's just not possible. It's not in my DNA. I can't do it. And so today we're going to be talking yet again about one of your close friends and a client of ours named Dr. Tammy, who works with a company or owns a company called Mastering Your Menopause. And so what we did for her recently is we delivered three back-to-back assets for their startup: a brand guide, social media posts, and their website. And so we did all of this in a timely manner and effective deliverables. But what I really wanted to touch on with you, Gabe, is why do we take startups down the path that we do? What is the intention behind serving them in that sort of way?
Yeah, when companies are in startup phase, or even if they're launching a brand new product or a new division, or they're pivoting, what's really important is to couple the market research we're going to do with them, of course, on who their ideal customer base is and who they want to serve. And then equally as important, we really go deep with the founder and the leadership, in the company, and say, why do you do what you do? And in Dr. Tammy, what I love is that she's so passionate about serving women who are in menopause, because that is a space in the healthcare market where women have not been taken care of. They've not been prioritized. It's traditionally, unfortunately, a space in the medical field where men have dictated everything that should happen during menopause, which is ludicrous to me.
Crazy.
But Dr. Tammy's been doing this for years and years, and her passion is to help women in that season of life have the most full and rewarding and wonderful season of life, and just all the good things from it, and to educate them and empower them and just show them the utmost love and respect.
Yeah.
And so by digging in and understanding Tammy's true mission, that allows us then to reflect that in the brand guide. Here's how we're going to communicate about what we offer. Here's how we're going to say things. How we're going to make sure every woman that comes into this membership and this program feels love and respect and support, and that this can be a central source for everything across the spectrum of your life in that season. And so we write a brand guide for that. And then our social media posts talk about, if you're in this season, like, we're here to help you. We're not going to, make it hard. We're not going to judge you. We're not going to tell you have to get angry in the season, or all these different things that she's seen. And so we attract people there. And then when you come to the website, everything from the design, the look and feel, the colors, the copy, the structure of what we choose is built to match people that really needs help there. And so it's so awesome to partner with Tammy because she
Yeah.
has such a passion for who she serves. And our team loves creating those types of things. And now we have this foundation that sets the course for the whole business. We
Yeah.
know how we're communicating. We have the brand guide. We know where they're going and how they're going to sign up and get services and support at the website. And we have an attraction method where the brand is going to be built. And ultimately, as we start running paid traffic and lead generation and all that, we have this really solid foundation. So when you take time and you build the right foundation and you follow the processes that we use, you get to establish in such a strong way that success is a lot easier to get to. And so that's just the holistic approach we take. And we love helping people like, Dr. Tammy, who's just passionate about making her clients' lives better. And it's been an awesome project. I just love that one.
Yeah, we love working like we've said in other episodes. We work with multi-million-dollar companies all the way down to boots on the ground startups, and even just in the idea phase. And we love working with startups because not only are they so passionate and so driven to serve whoever they're serving in their market, but also just to grow and establish, their footing. Because being an entrepreneur and owning a business is one of the most challenging and rewarding things ever. I don't personally own a business, but I know a lot about it just by being around you and working with other entrepreneurs. And so we love working with people who are trying to build something like life changing, especially like how what Dr. Tammy's doing, and being able to show up and serve them with marketing, technology, leadership is just one of our absolute favorites. So guys, if you like the video, throw it a thumbs up for us, especially over there on YouTube. It helps out a lot. And then subscribe. You'll get notified when we put out a new video each and every Friday. We love hanging out with you guys, and we would love to have you guys join the family. Also, guys, if you want a team of dedicated experts working around the clock for your business success, there will be a link below where you can book a call with me, and I can learn a little bit more about what you're doing for your business and share some of the awesome wins like we have today. And then we also have our free newsletter down below too, where we share, like I said, marketing, technology, sales, leadership, all the things that go into entrepreneurship. We share those for free on those, and we would love to have you guys join the family. And yeah, Gabe, yet again, thank you for being here with me, and we will see you guys next week.
See you, everyone.
Bye bye.